Hello scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with a SpiegelMom Scraps layout. So for this layout I had gone through a bunch of my scraps and also an old kit from Citrus Twist, which is almost a year old. It was from last summer and it had in there these puffy stickers. I cannot remember who these are from for the life of me, but these stickers are just so annoying and I wanted to use them up, and I was like, hey, I could totally make my whole title out of this and use up a ton of these stickers. So here you can see I'm kind of gonna have to jimmy rig that word on that second part of the title. It's supposed to say ant. So I was thinking my title would be Baby J and Aunt Meg. And I'm gonna go with that for a while and then I'm gonna totally change my mind. So, okay, here you can see I have this yellow paper this is from the Posh collection, and the Posh collection is still one of my favorite collections that Simple Stories has come out with in the last probably year. And I decided that I'm gonna cut it on the diagonal, just like with the Scraplifted layout that you will have seen. That is from Victoria Marie, if you didn't recognize the layout. And I absolutely loved that photo, and I told her immediately once I saw it, I was like, can I Scraplift this? I knew that it would be such a fun layout to Scraplift. So here you can see I'm kind of twisting it a little bit to kind of fit with my style. I have been trying to be better about layering and using different patterns on layouts and things. So here you can see I tried backing the photo on a white piece of paper, but I didn't really like the way it looked, so I decided not to go with it. And now here I'm just, let's see, I'm gluing down all of the papers from the top down to the bottom. And Victoria, in her layout, she just used the one strip, like the triangle shape. And she did have a couple of scrap pieces of paper on there, I think, but not quite so big. And I decided I just really liked the different shapes and the different patterns that I have all stacked up here. So now here I'm going to cut this bigger piece off to the right side of the photo, and I'm going to ink the edges on just a few of these papers just so that they stand out against that white paper. So here I'm just gonna I'm gonna start to glue everything down, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I want to do some mixed media over there to the left of the layout. So here I pull out 3 different colors, and I'm going to use Well Blue Me Down colorings, and let's see, Before Dawn Vibes, and No Yoking colorings. And I don't know if I said this, but this is a layout that I made for SpiegelMom Scraps. I'm kind of losing my mind. So if you want to buy any of these products that I use, I will leave a link below to her shop. And if you use the code Megan15, you can get 15% off your entire order, which is super exciting. Don't you just love getting coupons and discounts? Because I know I do. I'm super cheap. Okay, so there you can see I added some yellow, and then I'm going to add some black. At first I wasn't thinking about adding the black. I hadn't pulled it out because I thought that the blue and the yellow would be enough, but then I decided it needed a darker color, and since there was the black in the bottom of the photo cluster area, I thought that adding a little bit of black would be a good pop and a balance on the layout. So here I'm all done with the spray mists, so I'm going to put those away, and I'm going to pull out this silver doily, which I absolutely love these silver doilies. I'm going to glue one right there, and then I'm going to glue the other one at the top. I am going to cut a little teeny tiny piece off of the edge there, and I'm just going to glue it right up against that triangle right there. Now I'm pulling out some felties and cork hearts from the store, and I'm gonna go with these felties. I have white and then also gray, and I really like those two colors together, especially on this layout. They just look really good. Okay, so now here I am going to start gluing down the felties and just placing them where I want them on the layout. And the 3 clusters that I'm going to have are those 2 in the bottom left of the photo and then the top right of the photo. And then also I'm going to have just a little teeny tiny cluster around the title, which is going to be right on that ledge above that black piece of paper. So here you can see I'm using my Zots to glue down these felties. And then I'm going to pull out a couple different sequin mixes from the shop, and I have to apologize. The sequin mixes that I am going to pull out are not actually available anymore, and I didn't realize that they were all sold out, and they were some of the ones that Jody had on clearance and is retiring, so you can't still get them, but she does have some amazing sequins in the shop that are still available, so you can head on over to the shop and get some fun sequins. So here you can see I am going to spend some time trying to figure out what alpha I want to use for this layout. I really love this Amy Tangerine Gray one, but I don't have enough. I wanted my title to be Being an Ant, and then I was going to talk about how I love being an ant, but that I'm sad that I don't live close to my niece and nephews, or nieces and nephews, because I don't get to play the ant role as much as I would like to. So I'm going to fuss with this for a while, so I will be back when I finally pick out the one I want. Okay, so now here I have finally decided on these kind of greenish teal alphas, and these are from Amy Tangerine. I'm not sure what collection this is from, but I believe they're called Match. So I'm just going to start pulling out these alphas and placing them on this wax paper, and I'm just gonna do a 2-tiered title, TTT. I'm good with my alliteration skills tonight, right? And then I'm going to put those down. This title was so easy, and I know it's super generic and not very creative at all, but sometimes that's just what title work is about. Just being generic, just doing the easy thing. I have such a hard time with titles, so this one just kind of came and worked well. I try not to fight it when I actually can think of a title. Okay, so now this is where I'm going to pull out the sequin mixes that I mentioned before, trying to kind of clean up my mess of a decks, I can't talk tonight either, of a desk before pulling out my sequins. Like I said, I'm going to use Gunmetal Gray and Amy's Sprinkles. So here I'm just kind of sprinkling them on the layout in these 3 different spots, and then I'm going to glue them down and I'm going to be done. I'm not actually going to show you the journaling or even have photos of the journaling, but the idea that I have is I'm thinking I'm either going to put it down to the right of those hearts in that bottom cluster, or I'm going to put it all down the side on the very far right. But I will try to remember to take a photo and post it on Instagram after I do the journaling, and if I can decide. It just depends on how much I want to say, because I do have a lot to say about being an ant and all of that fun stuff. So thanks so much for watching. I hope that you have a great scrappy week. Bye!